In this problem, we need to determine the center and the radius of the circle, which is given by this equation. Let us begin. So we'll start with our given equation of the circle. So here we have 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 3x plus 5y equals to 7. Now what we'll do, we'll try to rewrite this particular equation in the general form, which is given by x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2 times fy plus the constant c equals to 0. Now in the general form we see here that the coefficient of x squared as well as y squared is 1, but in our case our coefficient of x squared and y squared is 2. So that means we need to get rid of it. What we'll do, we'll divide each terms with 2, so we get x squared plus y squared. The negative 3x over 2 is going to give us negative 3 over 2 times x plus 5 over 2 times y, and on the right hand side we have 7 over 2. So what we'll do, we'll transpose it to the left hand side, so that we now have in the general form. So let's try to first find out the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is given by negative 3 over 2. Then we'll also find out the coefficient of y. The coefficient of y, that's given as 5 over 2. And then we have the constant term c, so that's negative 7 over 2. Now, whenever we have a circle in its general form, the center of the circle is given by, we have negative half, this is going to be the x coordinate, negative half times coefficient of x. And the y coordinate would be, we'll take the y coordinate and multiply it with negative half. So we have negative half times coefficient of y. And the radius of the circle is given by, so we have square root of, and underneath the square root we have half times coefficient of x. We are going to square it, add it to half times coefficient of y, square it, and then from it we are going to subtract the constant term. So let's find out the value. So our center is going to have the coordinate. So first we'll have to take negative half and multiply it to coefficient of x. So that is negative 3 over 2. Coming to the y coordinate, we'll take negative half and multiply it to coefficient of y, which is positive 5 over 2. Let's solve this. This gives us a value 3 over 4, and the y coordinate will be negative 5 over 4. Fine. Now that we have the center, let's compute the radius. Our radius is going to be, we'll take the square root. Underneath the square root, we'll have to take half of the coefficient of x. So that's half times negative 3 over 2, and then we're going to square it. Then we will add it to half times coefficient of y. So that's half times 5 over 2, and then we're going to square it. And then we're going to subtract the constant term. So the constant term c is negative 7 over 2. So we have negative of negative 7 over 2. That makes it positive. Let's solve this value. So we get square root of, so half times negative 3 over 2. That's negative 3 over 4. Squaring it gives us 9 over 16. Added to it will be 5 over 4. So we have 25 over 16 plus 7 over 2. So this will be equals to, so we have 9 plus 25, so that's 34 over 16, and 7 over 2 can be also expressed as 56 over 16, which will be equals to square root of 90 over 16. Square root of 90 is simply 3 times square root of 10 divided by square root of 16, which is 4. So that means our radius comes out to be 3 times square root of 10 over 4, and the center has the coordinate 3 over 4 comma negative 5 over 4.